Welcome back. We're on episode 8 of The Misfortune. Now, there's a few issues I've discovered, or a few things we forgot, because we've been building the narrative perhaps a little too much on the fisherman family, Caliph family, while brushing off a few things unintentionally. Because, again, I'm an amateur playing solo RPGs. I've been playing RPGs for only I want to say 5 or so months. So still learning. However, I've noticed some improvements for myself, just critiquing. I will always have an issue speaking. That's evident. But as far as storytelling goes, I think with this Oracle and the concept of playing on a tabletop is more manageable for me. In addition to seeing two really damn good movies in the past 2 days, I do see movies a lot, not just on DVD, but in a theater. Which the first one was A Land of Saints and Sinners with Liam Neeson, I think that's called. And just literally an hour ago, Monkey Man, which was absolutely fantastic. Both great films. One's action packed with a good story, the other one's more tame with a great story. It kind of led me to remembering a few things because after I see a movie, I get really emotionally invested into it, trying to think, especially if it's a great movie. I have a tendency to think about the movie a lot. Like, well, what I would have done differently, or what things have been resolved, or what questions I have if there's ever a chance to continue the story outside the film. So, because both of these movies were based on revenge and two very flawed characters seeking that revenge, I recalled a few irrelevant details I missed. Because if I'm thinking about a story a lot, and I've been doing this for 5 straight months with 1 month as a break. I think I start to reconnect some old dots. With our story, The Misfortune, our character, Breglor, uh, he was he was tasked, he was given a quest by Dervish. He was supposed to transport a box. That box, I completely forgot to add to our inventory. So it's right here. I'm ignoring the rule where if you have chainmail, which I have to get the value for. I never put that in. I think it's +2. Yep, because the plus we have a shield and chainmail, that's 3 armor. I'm ignoring the fact that it's considered 2 slots. I'm breaking that rule. And not only did we forget the box, we forgot about the bird. We left off with our character staring the father giving us a cold stare through the window while we practically saved his son from imminent death. Breglor, being the heroic character he is, though flawed person, much like the characters I just talked about from the two movies, briefly. I didn't give you guys a full like spiel. That's not the purpose of this video, but the flawed person he is, he's balancing the fact that he just played hero while he's kind of at the mercy of the misfits in order to pay his debts. He's walking a thin line. He's walking in a gray area when it comes to being either good or bad. And I think this upcoming moment is vital for Breglor to define himself as a person, whether it's going to be lawful, neutral, or either chaotic or renegade. Like, I'm trying to remember a bunch of systems from different games, and if he's trying to be good or bad, I don't think he's gonna be bad. I think he's not going to go that route. But be good, however, operating in the gray area as more because he's a pickpocketer. We've already assembled that fact since the character creation process. He is a good person, though he's not a lawful neutral. I'm forgetting the terminology when it comes to that arrangement of the balance. Regretfully, I'm forgetting it. Again, my brain is just on, I'm on just hyperspeed right now, trying to connect these dots. So that bird we had, see how I made a complete tangent there? That bird that was following us from the magician, and I'm calling him magician for now on because that's a great nickname. We have to go back to our quest tracker. I don't use the threads often, which I probably should from the mythic system essentially. But taking this from the mythic, I like keeping tracks of scenes because I'm more of a filmmaking background. So it kind of helps me connect the dots. We have the main quest, which has the box and has the bird, the magical bird that's been following us for some time. We also have that quake that we felt back in the camp. So we can't forget about that. But I feel that's going to be possibly it's going to be minimal until the very end. Let's pull out our oracle because what we need to figure out right now, and we'll write in our journal, which I will try to minimize my note taking. I like to write down the details and do my best to keep that at a minimum so it doesn't waste time. Let's put D20 aside for now. What we're going to roll, because there was a storm, I have a suspicion that the storm did cause some trouble for that magical bird to keep tracking us visually. Though with magic, this magician, strangely enough, is quite powerful at the mercy of the misfits. Maybe he has some debt to pay. We can always branch on that later. But I feel like we had that vision earlier, literally getting a Zoom call over psychedelics that we were, continuing the mission. I think what I'm picturing here, the magician's magic has to have the bird that he uses, his pet essentially, has to have a clean sight of the target in order to communicate via Zoom. So the magic bird, basically tracks and then visually well actually gives visions. So visually in sight can communicate with the visions, with the really strange, powerful visions, if the person who's getting the vision is going to allow it to really happen or is maybe aware of it. But what we're rolling essentially is the very core aspect. Is the bird still on our sight? Can we see the bird or are we in the sight of the bird? Because of the storm, and the bird was flying so really high up in the not in the high up upper atmosphere, but like if the clouds are really low, like at the tip top of the mountains and then rolling in when the storm hit, I feel like the bird was just above the clouds. So let's say, was the bird, did the bird lose sight of us? I'm going to say very likely when the storm hit. And we're rolling for the current moment at hand. 55. Very likely the bird did lose sight of us. So the bird, I'm going to put the bird as a character. I know how strange it is, but the bird, I keep calling it that. And again, nicknames are going to help me out for the story. The bird lost track, which is great. That means our character, at the moment, is free from that obstacle. Our character, Breglor. So, with that very minor detail, uh, I should say, touched on, there's also the key we found on that dead merchant's body back in the cave where we believe the griffins originate from or live. So, let's go back to our inventory. We have the key. The key itself, we haven't really thought much of narratively. Breglor's current mind is set on the father because he's there and then back. We're revisiting a plot point. The whole cold stare situation is going to be a big moment narratively. However, the key is still a small detail we can't not lose in the midst of things. We cannot forget about the key. I have a feeling the key is very significant. And how significant is it? I'm going to say very likely 8. That is a exceptional yes. The key, for some reason, the key we have is extremely important. And because of that, we're going to roll perhaps something that's not within the knowledge of Reglor, but in the general lore of this story. Why is the key important? Let's roll for a, we can roll for an action, perhaps. 49, which gives us the key fight. Something the key allows for a fight or the key fights for something. Now let's roll for description. Get one more roll on this one. Night 16. Damaged. The key has the key was damaged in a fight. Because of that, uh key equals damaged during the Griffin's attack. During the Griffin's attack on the merchant. Now we did roll. I keep sliding this way out of the camera angle so you guys can really see. But I'm not a fan of writing this side of the pad because of the spine. I'll try to keep things a little shorter, which I can't really promise. Um, which does make sense because earlier we realized the key was pretty dull. It wasn't shiny and brand new. If that's the case, that it was big enough to damage. Now, I'm going to say it's very likely. Is this key? I know we're spending a lot of time on this very small object, but I have a feeling this will go somewhere. Was this key very big? Like picture like a prison key, like they're about this big, and it has that kind of classic little the circular handle, and then the head of it has those two or has the shape of the tip of it. So I'm gonna say very likely was this key that prison style key. So 74, barely likely. So it's a decent sized key. I'd say the key is about, let's say, the size of this pencil almost, but just over to the Dixon logo. So that's probably going to be 4 inches, 3 4 inches. The key is 3 4 inches long. Damaged though. So he has that in his pocket, but he's not exactly thinking about it right now. However, I wanted to touch on that because that's something that can fall through the cracks. Are there any other items that we have? We have the spell book, which might come in handy just for offense, for attack, for combat. Nothing. There's really no lore to that one. I'm assuming because it control plants. It's just something we found. We rolled for it. We deemed it was very valuable. We got lucky. We got the fishing rod. And we got the map, which we have used. It's all partially torn. I forgot to put that in, but it shows the north side of the world, North World. So the map's been used already. It will be used. Okay, now let's go back to our. So remember, we're currently, and also I updated the logo for the symbol for the village for the Caliph family. Sorry, ticket please. The Caliph residence. They're now it's a farm with the farmhouse. The actual blend together. It's a unique symbol. It's not part of the original that sheet I had with the legend with the symbols. Um, Now Bregor. At this point, it's we can't forget about the concept of being hungry, tired, real life situation, real life aspect of being alive. However, are we going to track that stuff? So if this turns into a dungeon crawler, then that's probably not something we're going to worry about. However, we're so deep in the narrative, I'm going to consider it. I've been keeping track. Hell, I've been keeping track of time. I'd say at this point, I probably should write the times on the side. 12:30. So right now it's roughly, let's say it's almost 1 a.m. Regler is tired. he needs the rest. He needs to eat. He has rations, and he has his backpack with the box taking up most space. His inventory's full. So right now, while the father is giving us that cold stare because he just has that suspicion that he has seen us before, what happens to us? I've been feeling because we're tired, we're hungry, and we got this guy staring at us, and we ha- made quite a journeys back in the rain. We are really, pun intended, weathered. So, Does anything happen to Breglor physically? I'm gonna say nearly certain something does. So I rolled. You guys see the roll, right? That is astonishing. I mean, what do I read? How do I read this? 0, 0. Do I re-roll? That's pretty severe. I know it's just one and through, but I'm going to take that one as a completely very severe thing happens, and let's roll for to see what happens. 22. Conflict. Of course, it's going to be conflict. So it's 1 a.m. Severe conflict. Okay, let's roll to see what it is. The description of this conflict. 90. Oops, sorry. 95. 95. Just so you guys can see it. 95 is way down here. Stylish. Something stylish happens. I'm gonna re-roll that one. I'm not a fan. Not really sure how stylish and conflict go together. Do we collapse in style? That doesn't make any sense. Sorry, I'm gonna re-roll. 13. Colorful. Okay, so it something does need to happen to us with style and color. Style and color. That actually does add up something. So while we're being stared at, I think something colorful happens. Is it another vision? Do we have to pull an oracle for this? I have a feeling we got to pull up an oracle for this. So again, I have legacy tables. This is the rare moment I'm going to rely on our older oracle. And I'm going to grab a d20 for this one. We're going to go to stuck. We did roll for conflict. I don't want to overdo. I feel like I'm overstepping this right now. Like I'm over complicating this very moment. But I am also very curious why something would be colorful, stylish, and conflicting. Yes, I'm stuck. Let's do that. 20, of course. Love. You got to be kidding me. Okay, this literally is leading to something. Love. I'm not a fan of this binder sometimes. Okay, so love, stylish, colorful. Does it have to do with something? Oh, wait. I don't think this is about Breglor. I don't think this is about Breglor. I don't think this is related to Breglor, I should say. Is this related to the mother the mother and father? The two characters you still need to get names for. Yeah, here. Let's say very likely. 93. It's not. This is not related to the mother and father. Is this related to conflict, style, color, love? Severe, though. Is this a vision? I'm gonna say likely. Is this a vision? Are we 34? It is a vision. It kind of does make sense. It's another vision. Interesting. So Bregler has another vision. It hits him really hard. Oh, he's hallucinating. Okay, no, this makes sense. He's so tired, he's so hungry, he hallucinates, like he's seeing maybe he's seeing his old like his family, like if he had a family, like the fact that he's looking at this family that's just been through so much, he's kind of like empathic or sympathy. Um, he's tired, he's exhausted, and then okay, this makes sense. Took me quite a while, but I'm happy I rolled back to for vision. He hallucinates. Hallucinates. I think I know how to spell that. Hallucinates. Uh, he's just like he's seeing vivid colors and like he basically. We're not gonna work on this. He just collapses. Like I think he's so tired. Yeah, he's tired. He passes out. So collapses. He collapses onto the floor, just right in front of the because the mother and son are talking. They're about done with their little conversation, catching up. The father sees this, and I does the father show any like worry for that, or does he have any concern or any notion for it? I would say very unlikely because I think the father still has some kind of grudge or some kind of just some strange caution to us. Very unlikely. 19. He does. For some reason, the father, um, what emotion does he show? That might get a little. Okay. I'm curious what emotion he would show. Let's see. So I rolled 17. Father is. Let's see. Let's roll for it. 9. A burden. That doesn't make sense. Okay, it's a burden. So father is like, great. Like this guy collapsed. He's like, oh shit. Father is yeah. He's just been through so much, and now this guy collapses in front of his house. So I should say it's a burden. Uh, Breglor is a burden. Burden is Breglor. He collapses. Okay, so that means our character's passed out. So what we have to do is then we're deprived right now. I'm going to say that we're deprived, and we basically have fatigue. We have fatigue all across the board. I don't know if this is the way you're supposed to do it, but I'm going to just show fatigue. We're not equipped with anything. And because of that, I'm gonna say because we're deprived, let's minus 1 health like that, just naturally because we're deprived. Deprived is actually almost like on death's door because that's literally what it is. So an X, I should say 0 to be honest. Again, I'm breaking the rules here, but I feel like he is about to die or he's passing out. He's not dead per se, but he's close to it. So does the mother help him up, or the closest person is the mother? That's probably capable of helping. So nearly certain the mother helps him out. 95. What? You gotta be kidding me! The mother doesn't help him out. Why not? Why did the mother help him out? 84. PC. Player character. Okay, so something occurred. So we collapsed, but we never really said we're unconscious. So the mother is just watching. She's just dumbfounded by what happened. We collapse, but we just rolled PC. So our personal computer apparently. But what do we do? It's our character. And what just happened to our character? 95. I'm gonna re-roll for that because that's the stylish thing again. Let's put a little more shake into darkness. Dark. Oh, we can't really see what's going on right now. Well, we did acknowledge there's darkness. Oh, hmm. This okay, so this dark so we are passed out. We are unconscious. The darkness. That is basically symbolized that's visually implying what we see. We're passed out. So okay, we are passed out. That does lead up. Sorry, Breglor is passed out. He's out right now. He's unconscious. The mother, for some reason, doesn't want to help, and I feel like she doesn't want to help for some reason because there's something that is stopping her from helping her. The son. Does the son help? We helped him, so perhaps he helps. He picks us up and drags us, and he pulls Bregler into the house. Nearly certain. Let's say, does the son help us out? Bregler out. Does the son help Bregler out? 39. He does. The son quickly walks over to us, picks us up, and drags Bregler into the house. That is really annoying me now. Son helps uh Bregler into the house. That's why the mother did it because the son stepped in to help. That's it. As simple as that. And the father's reaction to this. What is the father's reaction to seeing his son help out the stranger? Remember, the father doesn't know right now why what's going on. He can't really hear through the window. We're not gonna roll a will check or something, but he can't really hear through the window. He's perhaps like 20 feet away on the edge of the house inside, just recovering. He has like a what do you call that? Just um, a comforter over him or some kind of material, a blanket. Apparently, it's so difficult word for me, but uh, the mother. Okay, what does the father think of this? Let's see. 52. Light. Okay, and gain, light and gain. So this is this kind of makes okay. So because the father is seeing his son help out this stranger, he's beginning to realize that maybe there's more to this. So again, that's just light on the situation. So the father's like, okay, this is something like this man is basically if the son's helping this man out, this stranger, then there has to be a reason why that's positive. So the father he gets a little like it's just some like positive a positive emotion, very small positive reassurance that perhaps this stranger is not bad, essentially. So father reassured, you know, reassured that I'm gonna write light, positive, just some keywords. So son helps us up, and the son takes us inside, and the son takes Reglor inside, puts Reglor onto the nearest couch. I'm guessing, is the mother going to help in any way? Let's say likely. Like maybe get some water, some food or something. 13. Likely. Yep, that's a very weak exceptional yes. It's on the very edge between yes and exceptional yes. So because of that, exception, I keep forgetting about this. Exceptional yes is the answer is yes and more. So the mother will do the following. We can roll this, or we can just kind of explain what happens. 50 exactly. The mother will fight. The mother fights the father to the death. They're gonna fight over this man that just walked in. I'm kidding. The mother will fight. Will fight what though? I don't think it's necessarily an actual physical fight, but 55 for mechanical. Oh, she just quickly runs to boil some. I don't not necessarily like hot water, but perhaps like she just I mean mechanical, not like technology obviously, but like she uses her skill. Maybe she just goes to get some food, or she mother rushes to fighting me like fight like she's working on something really fast. She rushes to get some cold water, to get some water, some resources for us, some water, um, food. She did give us food. Yeah, she gave us food. She tells does she tell the son about the food in our bag? For certain. That's for certain. I think she's smart enough to remember that. So she tells the son, let's roll. Nine. I can't even. Wait, 90. So, oh, I'm sorry. No, no, 19, not 90. 19. Yes, she tells the son to get the food out of the bag, our bag, and then get to basically just kind of help give him some food. Um, So son gets food from inventory. Inventory, we gotta take that food away. So now basically, and maybe he puts it again, like he just kind of tries to get the sense to wake up Regular and just, eat it. So, Regular will eat the food. Like he'll just kind of, he's like he's really out of it. I don't think he's completely out of conscious at this point. Um, does Regular respond to this? Let's actually roll this out of our control. 50-50. Does like he wake up from the scent of food? 15. Like, yep, he does. So he barely, well, no, that's pretty strong. He wakes up, he's like, he's still out of it, but he sees the food, he'll eat the ration. So Regular eats, he eats, so we have to take away a ration. So now we're back to 3. And I think the mother comes over with some water. Uh, we don't have to roll for that. Mother gives Regular some water in a cup that she just rushed over to get some water. I don't, warm or tea or something like that, just some liquid. Um, so now I think because of that, we are going to take away 2 fatigues, and now we're not necessarily deprived. And does this heal us 1 hit point? One hit protection, I'm sorry. Let's say likely. 47. It does. So it will heal us 1 hit point on our hit protection. So we're back up to something at least. Okay. So we lost 2 fatigues and we are not deprived anymore. So we're eating the food there. Brendan's enjoying his meal. The son, does the son go sit down, relax himself because he's been through a lot of crap? I'm gonna say very likely. The son goes sits down. 88, very likely. He doesn't. No, he's standing there and he wants to make sure that we're okay. He's standing there and wants to make sure that Bregler is okay. So that's okay. That big deal is pretty minimal. The father, we gotta figure out what he's doing. What's the father doing? 33. Frightening delay. Okay. Delay. He's not exactly putting any much effort here. The father is still, he's standing there watching this happen. He's watching his family help this stranger. And is he going to ask what happened to this stranger that he recognizes but doesn't know his name? He doesn't know Bregno's name. I'm going to say 50-50 on this one because I think the father's in a strange spot in a moment. 15. He does. Oh, yeah. Yep. He does indeed. He asks the mother, or let's say he asks the son, what happened? Are you okay? So father inquires what happened about events from earlier. Does the son explain what happened? I'm going to say very likely he does. He spoke up earlier about it. 30. Yep, just 30. He does. The son basically speaks about what happened, retells the story, retells the events from earlier. The mother is already familiar about what happened. She's doing her thing. She's probably just kind of cleaning up, or she closes the door. She listens in again. She's familiar with what happened. The father is listening in, and the son tells the. It's not a very long story, but it's a lot of big details. Like the tree fell on him. Well, on his, yeah, the tree mostly fell on him. He was about to, you know, die. Uh, Breglor came to his rescue. Um, and what is the father's reaction to all this? Let's figure that out. 36. He's distant. I think we rolled that already. No, I'm not gonna do distant. I'm gonna do fool. So he's okay, fool. The father, feeling full, like I believe like he's heard enough. He's upset at his son. He's just angry at his son that he went through all this. He could have hurt someone. He could have hurt himself. He's basically giving the father, like he's being a very, overly protective father, though he's hasn't really been shown it lately. He's just giving his son. He's not yelling at him, but he's being very firm. Father is telling his son about like don't do that again. Um, Upset, was scared. Where was he? Where was he? Stuff like that. And then he feels like I'd say let's roll once more. 'Cause there's one more thing I want to talk about the father. 31. The priest. Okay, so for himself, the father feels like deep inside, the father feels like he was a burden. Like his self-esteem is going down because him being attacked caused all this trouble with his son to go out and look for help, while this stranger came out of nowhere to play hero. So while they're talking and Breglor is slowly recovering, we have to throw in a twist. We had to something happen here. It was 50-50. 39, 50, something does happen. 39 is a middle of the road, yes. And what happens? It's really late too. So that's a okay, that's a 1. Artificial attain. Hmm. Okay, interesting. Star, attain, and then let's roll for description of this. 37. Healthy. Even though the father is not necessarily yelling at his son, but he's being very firm, and he's pointing to his son. He's saying, "You could have got yourself." He's reiterating it. You could have got your again. You could have got yourself killed. This man risked his life to save you. And when he said that, he just kind of it took a while, but he connected the dots that yeah, this stranger just saved our son's life, and now the father owes him. Like he owes debt to him. Like like this father should shouldn't really think badly of this stranger, even though he's seen him somewhere before. So I think this is a good point where does even though Breglor is like he's eating and he had some water, he's resting, he's okay. I'm slowing down too, person, because the story just keeps trucking along. I'm trying to catch my breath here. Um, Breglor just I think when he's looking, if you think of it from a first person perspective, he's watching the father talk. Remember, he's awake, but he's not really there mentally, perhaps. The son's looking at the father when they're yelling at each other, and the father mentions what we Redlord did. The mother standing there, she's doing this like a kind of classic anime pose. Um, let's roll. 80. Reassuring. It's reassuring that oh, I'm sorry, we attain healthy. Um, attain and healthy. We still got for I stepped ahead a little too much. The father, this basically is healing for the father. His son is safe and he's healed. That's the father. So right now, like knowing that his son's safe, this stranger, this man just saved his son's life. That chapter is done. It's closed. And he's happy that they've been able to help. So I think healthy can kind of go both ways. Like physically, the father's healthy, and also Bregner is healthy, kind of. But let's roll to see what happens to Bregler at this point, because he's a spectator now. 9. A burden. Okay, we've been rolling burden a lot. Now, Bregler feels like a burden. Bregler feels like a burden to the family. I'm going to write this full note to the family because he he tries to speak. We don't have to roll for this. He's like he's like, I'm sorry, I've been so much trouble for you guys. Like, and then at that point, I think does Bregler pass out? Like he just kind of he falls back. That's speaking pretty much used up all his energy. Let's say very likely does he pass out? 48. He does, yeah. So he passes out. He just kind of falls asleep. He just passes out. Breglor passes out. Okay, so now the bird, we don't know what's going on with the bird up there in the sky. The storm probably passed, and it's going to be morning now. Bregler passed out. He fell asleep a solid 8 hours, so that's from like Let's say 7. Let's say 8 hours. 1 a.m. to 9 a.m. Regular, his eyes open up. He wakes up. Regular awakens. And when he wakes up, what does he see? Let's roll. Let's roll out Autobots. 18. He sees competition. He sees competition. He sees competition. What competition would that be? Let's write this down. Sees competition, comma, or I should say dash slash 32. Fragrant. Hmm, fragrant. Interesting. Fragrant, like a smell, like I said, food. He smells food. So not sees, he smells food. The the mother is cooking food with the son, and the father's helping. There, he wakes up seeing this very friendly family interaction going on, and it's like picture perfect. He sees the family cooking breakfast. It's just very it's not subtle. It's just very comforting for him. So that makes sense. Competition family, like the son's trying to help the mother cook on the stove or whatever the gas stove. Or, I don't. Yeah, that's a detail we're not to worry about. The father is like he's maybe drink. He's mixing some drinks, cooking breakfast. They're just in the kitchen of this cabin, this farmhouse, cooking. And Bregler sees there's like again, there's a comforter, there's a blanket on him. He leans up a bit, and when he leans up, does the family notice? Let's say likely 56. Yeah, okay, they generally do notice. So, Bregler, he leans up. Family notices Bregler leaning up, not just waking up, but leaning up. And what do they do leaning up? Let's see. 65. Let's see what we get for 65. Either or. Leave. They're not going to leave. That doesn't make sense. New. New. What would be new about this? We feel new. Like maybe the family can see that the family sees Bregler feel looks very new, refreshed. Um, they notice Bregler's refreshed. He's just like the sleep helped him, is refreshed. And because of that, I'd say we can fairly heal ourselves one more, because that was considered a long rest. And the fatigue, for the most part, is gone. Let's erase all that fatigue, and we are good to go. We're not deprived anymore. Our HP, our hit protection is back to normal, and we're not deprived or fatigue. So, Braglor, can he stand? Like I'm gonna say, nearly certain he can stand. He's no spring chicken, but 58. Yes, he can stand. So Bregler stands up. He folds the. He's looking at the family, seeing that they helped him out, hospitality. He folds the comforter, the thing, blanket, puts on the chair. Like it was like he was like a grandfather's kind of chair. Um, he stands up, and he thanks the family for the hospitality, and he says he has to go. Still has a task, but he has to go. Oh, we forgot the daughter. Completely forgot the daughter. Forgot about the daughter. We have to know where she is. I completely forgot about her in the last like two scenes. Maybe she was in a room the night before, or she like I don't. Do we even? You know what? Forget it. I'm not gonna worry about that right now. The daughter's there too. They're all cooking breakfast. They look at Bregler standing up. He sees that he thanks him. He's like thank he does this. Thank you for your hospitality, but I have to go. And what do they do to that reaction? What's their reaction? At 15, communicate. They communicate. They say, stands up. The father. I think that this is gonna be a vital point. The father, does he walk up? Does he approach? Because he's going to communicate. He talks. That's evident. The father talks to Breglor. Talks to Breglor. Does he walk up like personal? Like, does he walk up to his, not to fight, but does he walk up to him like in his vicinity, like within a couple feet, thankful, or like glad to see he's okay? The father's opinion probably has changed now from earlier. Let's see. Very likely he walks up to him. 10. He does. He puts down like a cup of tea or whatever, and he walks up to Breglar. He walks up like this, and he looks at him. Now, what does he do? I should say he walks up to him. Walks up to him. What did he do? This could be an action roll. 83. Well, I rolled PC. Okay, so we react. He walks up to us, talking to us. Question is, what's the subject matter that he's talking? Okay, so what's the conversation about? PC, like I think this is two rolls here. We're gonna roll to what I think Breglor is going to. Let's roll to see what Breglor does, because this is different. I was expecting 0 again. I'm gonna re-roll. 50. Fight. Large, like, okay. Large. I rolled a large. I don't know why that would be of any use for us, but he walks up to him. He's not sizing him up. That would be unnecessary. But he walks up. He's generally happy. Large. Oh, like a big moment. He sticks his hand out for a handshake, and he says, "Thank you for saving my son." And Bregler is surprised because from early, earlier interactions were mostly, again, from our perception, from Bregler's perception, we're negative. He puts his hand out. Thank you for shaking. Thank you for helping my son. And then after a slight hesitation, Bregler will also. So they shake hands. They shake hands. The father he's a neutral party in this matter, but he's grateful. So when they shake hands, let's roll see if something happens. 23. Control. This is a this is a controlled moment. Control. I think no, you know what? I'm gonna re-roll that. I have a feeling it's different. 52. Gain. He has something to gain from this. This is a personal gain for you know what? A personal gain. Interesting. Regular can get a little greedy here. Personal gain. Huh. But what would the personal gain be? This is really intriguing. I think this is like an this is inadvertently like a personal gain. So I'm gonna put personal gain. Let's see. Personal gain. Really I feel like pulling out the other oracle here. This is really intriguing. Let's pull out the traditional oracle. I call this the legacy oracle. What is the let's see. Okay, we're gonna be looking for let's get the camera over there. We're looking for um something first. Oh yeah, subject matter. Right there. Okay, so this might not work out because it's more for quests. Plus, we got to update our quest tracker. A castle. The subject matter, the cat. Oh, the castle, right. Um, I have an idea. Okay, so Bregler is remembering his primary quest, and that essentially it's a temple, castle, big building. And I think he's realizing that. Like, I don't recall if it's a plot hole on my part, but Dervish gave us details on where to go. And I'm gonna say it's oh yeah, it's the castle. It's up here. It's not necessarily a castle per se. It's 12-2. So 12-2 is a temple. So let's say temple. He's gonna ask uh to see if he can borrow perhaps a horse. Personal gain. It's a personal gain for Breglor. He helped save their son. Now, in return, he's going to ask them, "Do you have? Can I borrow a horse, if you don't mind?" Like, because he's thinking about the cast, trying to get there. Now, this is day two, I think. Gosh, I don't remember if I lost track. This is day two. Yeah, this is day two. So we got to keep track of that. Day two, and he's whispering to doesn't exactly want to, give too much details to the family, but he knows that father can probably keep a secret, not a big secret, but like he's saying, I'm on a certain special task where I need to get to the Temple of Legion. Maybe it doesn't say Temple Legion. He says a certain temple up north. Do you know where I can find a horse? It's a long day. It's a several days travel. And so he mentions the temple up north, and basically inquires about transport. Now, on a farm, I'm thinking that there is horses. Does very likely does the father give? Does the father have any horses on the farm? Let's say very likely 20. He does. Okay, even with the griffins attacking, ironically, he does have horses. Now, does he give? Does he let Regular borrow a horse? I'm gonna say nearly certain, probably because how everything's been going so well now. 10. He does. Okay, so the father lets Breglor borrow a horse. Okay, so he they go outside, and when they go outside, it's morning. It's 9:30. Maybe all of that was like a half an hour or so. 9:30. When they go outside, something happens. 10. Another burden. We definitely roll a burden. A burden. Okay. Now, the severity of this burden. Okay, let's write down father and Breglor leave the house. They leave the house. Now, what is this burden exactly? 78. Oh, it's quiet. Oh, I'm sorry. Action. It's an object. It's quiet. So I see. I have. Okay, I already rolled this side, but it's quiet now. All of a sudden, it seems really quiet. It's quiet outside. Which maybe is this unusual for the morning of? Like, there's no rooster, cock-a-doodle-doo. There's no noise of animals. There's no wind. It's very quiet out. Is this unusual for? Does the father? Is this unusual? Let's just ask that. Is this quietness unusual? Let's do 50-50. Or not, let's say very likely. Is unusual. 60. It is. Yep. It is very unusual. So there's an unusual feeling in the air. Unusual quietness, if that's even a word. Now, because of that, see, that's what does the father think of this, of the quietness? 77? Looks like, yep, just about. 77. An object. Okay. Oh, that's ironic. We rolled that for quiet. We see, or Breglor and father, I really gotta get their name. I keep forgetting that. Breglor and father see something. They're just like, yeah, you can have the horse, but they see something, and let's get a object list out. Let's see, what would be a good, that's for sci-fi. Let's see, there's this table here, fantasy tables. Okay, I think I have one for objects. Location descriptions, reactions, coastal settlement name, quick settlement name generator. This is the Ironstone oracles, which may have a little too much for us for this little adventure we're on, but I might just skip this and go straight to the legacy. I think that'll be a little better. Okay, we'll keep it simple. Legacy generator. Trying to fix that. There we go. Okay, so D20 for this one. Okay, an object. We see an object. It could be the objects in front of here, or I know there's another section of stuff we can use, perhaps. Maybe not. Character names. We have this one. Cracker. Yeah, let's use the objects from the first one. For some reason, Dreglor and Father see something. They see an object. And that object is time. No, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. 19. Tools. They see tools. Okay. Why would they see tools? They see they see tools on the ground, not too far in front of them, but they see tools, a bag of tools in front of them on the ground. Now, these tools, what are they exactly? What this is the most random thing you can see? Are these tools? What are the condition of these tools? Let's see. Are these tools torn up? 43. They are. Okay. Now, what is the reason for these tools being there? 40. Enemies. Oh, okay. Enemies. Heavy. That is very interesting. I think I'm going to re-roll for that because I don't necessarily think these tools. We see a bag of tools on the ground. I'm trying to think it's connected to the merchant that we saw in the cave dead. Perhaps he passed through here. Are these tools on the trail in front of their house? I'm thinking there's a trail that just passes. It's actually the road here that's in front of their house. In front of, well, past the field. That's pretty far. Maybe it's a walk. It's just a walking trail. Is it on a trail? 21. That was 50-50. It is. Okay, so the tools are going to be on the ground like they were dropped and they're torn up. So, oh, the weather. We need to figure that out. Interesting. Okay, so on the ground trail, it's a path. It's a dirt path that people can probably walk through between the farms, between the fields. I'm thinking that the weather, is it still raining out? I'm going to say very unlikely. 17. Oh, it's still raining. Okay. Now, uh, higher the number, the rain, the more crazier it's raining. 57. It's not pouring. I see a steady rain out. This storm is really going. It's steady rain outside. And Bregler's seeing this. He sees the okay, so they both see the bag of tools on the ground, ripped up, torn to shreds, and it's raining out. I have a feeling that something's gonna pop up for us. 99, solid 99. Uncertainty. They have I think they're both like this is really strange. And that they've been feeling that for a while now. So it's uncertain. Then ooh, this is interesting. Okay, so next page. Redler is going to go walk up to the tool. He's going to walk up slowly to the tool, to the bag of tools on the ground. Maybe there's something in there. The father, does he follow? Let me say 50-50 on this. 63. He doesn't. He stands at the door. He stands at the doorway just watching us. So Breglor. Breglor walks up slowly to the bag of tools, and then he looks at them. Now, what does he see exactly? Nine? Nine. I keep rolling burden today. Let's re-roll that. Well, actually, that might be interesting. Re-roll once more. 99. Uncertainty again. The bag of tools is empty. It's a burden. He didn't find it. He didn't find any tools inside. It's empty. So I have a feeling that something happened overnight in this spot. Somebody was robbed. So Regler's thinking, oh, does he see anything around? Let's do a perception. That'd be will. We're gonna do a perception check or a will check. We have to roll 13 or less. Wait, no, he doesn't see anything. Shoot, he doesn't see anything. He looks around, but he doesn't exactly see any like foul play. He just sees the bag of tools. So he's really confused about what is going on. However, I'm thinking lore-wise that something happened here overnight. Did something happen here overnight? 41. It did. That was 50-50. So something happened. There was a let's see, 55. Good. Huh. I don't think I have to roll for that. So we'll put an arrow. This is not something regular. He didn't do it. We didn't get the insight he needed. But basically, there was a robbery here, and there was just a bag of tools that were taken. The bag was left behind, and there's just a bag, empty bag. Okay, so Bregor is going to look through the bag because he was just staring at it. There's no tools in the visible sight of it. But he's going to look through the bag and look through the pockets. Does he find anything in the bag? He's going to kneel down. Does he find anything? 50-50. 98. Oh wow. Okay, so this is interesting. The 98 is a really exceptional no. So exceptional no, the same as a no, but beyond your expectations. So something negative has to happen here. While we're looking through the bag, something indeed happens negatively. So let's roll for that. 86. Ruin. Okay, so there's positive and ruined. I'm gonna go with ruined. He finds something ruined. Oh wait, hold on a second. We roll for. No, he didn't find anything, but something ruins him. Breglor. Does Breglor get? Who gets ruined here? Does Breglor get ruined? 17. Yes. This was the 50-50 roll. Yeah, Breglor gets ruined. Something happens to Breglor this very moment. Okay, so while we're looking for the bag, looking through the pockets of the bag, looking for the bag, finds nothing. Find something. Something happens. And I think I'm really curious about this. 10. Huh. I want to say, I'm thinking an arrow. I don't know why, but I'm thinking an arrow. There's something hit. Yeah, there's something hit. Very likely something hits. Like physically hits us. Hits Fredmore. 63. Yeah, something barely hits us. Let's say it's a rock. If it was an arrow, it would have been a higher yes. But I'm going to say that a rock like hits Bregman in the face. Bregor gets hit in the face with a rock. Okay. Now why? Who threw that rock? So he gets hit. He gets hit in the face with the rock. Does it injure us in any way? 78. No, it doesn't. It doesn't hurt us. It's a small rock. It's like a pebble or just a small. Like he does this. He's like, what the hell? He looks to his side, and does he see anybody there? 34. He does. Yes, he does see somebody, and maybe it's further down the road. Is it a? Oh, you know what? It could be the people who are robbed. Does he see a? How many people does he see? 54. Okay, so he gets hit in the head with a rock. I think I'm hitting a story hole, plot hole. I'm sorry, I'm stuck. This is the part of the story where I'm just trying to follow a path that might not even exist. Yeah, so let's just roll for this. 11. Mania. Oh, okay. There's someone crazy. He basically sees someone who's crazy. Uh, Gosh darn it. I really hate this binder sometimes. Just trying to fix that up. Nope. Okay, so he sees someone who's crazy, or someone who's just getting very defensive and thinks that Reglor is a threat. This man he sees, uh, is he a threat to us? Let's say unlikely. 54. He's not. Unlikely. Yeah, he's not a threat. So I'm thinking it's an injured person. So Bregler notices that there's is this person injured? Likely. 6. Yeah, this person's really hurt. Uh Bregler sees it's another merchant. This makes sense. Sees a heavily injured merchant. Merchant's just it's just not a good day for them. But he wasn't throwing the rock for to hurt us. He was throwing the rock to get our attention. And he's basic is he shouting for help? Let's say nearly certain. 63. He is, yeah. He's shouting for help. He's heavily injured. He can't really speak that much, but I'm sorry, he can speak. He can shout from a distance, but he can't move. So the merchant is like, let's see his condition. He's torn up and he's shouting for help. So shouts for help. He threw the rock for to get attention. Threw rock for attention because I'm guessing not many people pass through here. And shouts for help. Threw the rock. Bregler notices and sees the injured man, sees injured merchant, and because of that, he's going to turn the father and says there's someone down here who needs help, and then Bregler's gonna rush over. So Bregler gets rushes over, goes to the injured merchant. The injured merchant. Okay. The merchant is the merchant near like his goods, like his cart? I'm gonna say very likely. 68. Yes, he is. So the merchant's like he's doing this like it. His guts aren't spilled up, but he has like a big claw mark on him. He's breathing heavily. He's leaning against his cart that's torn apart. Um, maybe he's saying that I was attacked. Was he attacked? Let's see what he was attacked by. And I'm pretty sure I know what it is. 61. Increase. Yeah. Mysterious mm, increase in size. I think the tension increases the likelihood of who attacked him. What's been killing off merchants lately in the area? Those damn griffins. So I'm going to say that the Breglor, the merchant is is heavily injured, and then he's gonna talk to them. He's like, Can you tell me what happened?" And the merchant is basically saying, "I was attacked. I was on my way up to the bellhop, and I was attacked by these big giant winged creatures. And because of that, merchant was on his way to bellhop, mentions winged creatures attacked him, attacked him, attacked him." And Breglor is like beginning to realize he stops and he says, "Let me guess, two griffins." And was it the griffins? I'd say certainty it was. Was it the griffins? Does the merchant say yes? It was. Yeah, four is a very high certain. Merchant's like, yes. Like coughs up blood. He's like, "Ugh, yes, it was griffins. How'd you know?" And then okay, so Breglor confirms it was griffins. Griffins. He says, fucking griffins. Sorry, pardon my French. Fucking griffins. Just been dealing with it the past day and a half. I saw him up there. There's a cave up on a trail going through the mountains. And then while he's talking to him, what happens to the merchant? Because remember, he's coughing blood. He's looking pretty bad. 40. The environment. Something is happening in the environment. Oh, uh-oh. Okay. So the rain, not as bad as it was. I'm gonna say the rain is fizzling off at this point. Drizzle. Let's put drizzle. That's just a star. We're drizzle. Now that's the environment. The rain is the environment. The drizzle, rain. It's just the clouds are opening up. So is the rainstorm moving over like this morning rain? It makes sense. The area is pretty heavy on vegetation. There's trees, we're near a forest, mountains. Rain is pretty common here, I'm guessing. So let's do very likely the clouds are breaking up. 858. Yes, the clouds are breaking up. Clouds are breaking. Storm is passing through. Storm is passing. That's just the environment. That's a simple side little detail. Confirms griffins. And the unfortunate merchant, I think Breg was mentioned. I saw another merchant, a dead one, at their very cave. Now the merchant, when we tell him that, what's his reaction to that? 43. Important. Ooh, interesting. I like that. When we tell Bregler tells of the other dead merchant from the cave. Now, it's clear that this merchant we're talking to, Bregler's talking to, is, I don't know if it's a death storm. Let's roll for his condition. Um, how is his condition? 47. We just have to translate it. Fears. He's fearing death right now. So lacking. That works better. Lacking. he's heavily injured. We'll just keep it at that. We were already determined that he's heavily injured from the cave. So the merchant, we're not really giving this guy an identity yet. We still got to give names to the family. And I think we'll do that at the very end of the video. I'm going to assume that we just exchanged names for some of the family, like through a conversation, through passing. But we didn't narratively talk about that. But it's my duty. I have to give them names. They become such big characters, especially the mother and father and son. The daughter, it's like she's in the background character. She's just a minor supporting character. Merchant, eyes widen. Important. I'm gonna widen. I'm gonna put important. He says, "You saw the merchant." Maybe does well, let's figure this out. Does he know the merchant? I'm pretty sure he does. 29. That's a tough one. Does this merchant know? Okay, so let's say he does know. Merchant might think that okay, the Bregler mentioned the merchant up in the cave, and this heavily injured merchant grabs Bregler by the shirt and says, "Tell me, what was he like? What did he look like?" And then eyes widened, intense emotion, inquires about the appearance, about the dead merchant from earlier in the story. Bregler is like, well, he was heavily torn apart, loose limbs, and then let's just say Bregler mentions a few details regarding clothing, what he found. Does Bregler mention the spell book? That's one thing. He's not greedy. So does he mention? I'm gonna say likely he mentions the spell book. Does he mention the spell book? 73. He doesn't. He keeps that detail out. Doesn't mention the spell book. I think Bregler is going to hold on to that, the spell book. Maybe he just forgot. Forgot. But he mentions the appearance of it. So mentions any detail that can be helpful. Now, telling the merchant that, what happens? What's the merchant's reaction? 81. Official. So he officially realized that he knew this merchant. So merchant knew the dead one, basically. Was he a friend? Was he a family member? Was he a brother? Was he a family member? Let's figure this out. 43. Expectations. So we already know what we're expecting. See, that's hard to read. Was he a friend of the merchants? Like, is this like a little like a little business that they work together and they go town to town selling? Oh, like a business partner. Let's just say that it's a traveling business partner. And okay, that makes sense. Um, nearly certain. Do they know each other because they're business partners? 80. Yeah, okay. Yeah, they know each other. Common. Yeah, it's a simple yes. Merchant, business partners. Partners. And merchant's like, we work together. That he's coughing blood. He's like, did he have a key on him? Basically, the key. Now, the key. I felt like bringing that key back. I was waiting for this moment. He says, Did my friend have a key on him? Did you see a key? And I'm going to say regular is like, yes, I have the key right here. So, and then business partners asked asks about the key. Regular, rightfully so, shows the key. Now, what is the reaction of the merchant seeing the key right in front of him? This key is very important for some reason. 77. That's an object, but he's quiet. So it is an object, but he's quiet. And that's the description side. The merchant remains quiet. So why does he remain quiet? What is something so significant about this key? Does the merchant? Okay, he remains quiet. Okay, Bregor is going to ask. He's holding the key in front of him. It's like, what is this key? What is this key for? While the merchant passing out, I'm going to say 50-50. 32. He's passing out, not passed out. And Bregor's trying to shake him, like, what is this key for? Speak to me. Does the merchant reply? Let's say, come on, 50-50, 43. He does, barely though. So what is your reply? 67. He replies, it moves something. It's for moving something. It's official. It's for moving something. It's to move. A door? A big merchant. Hmm, that's really intriguing. I'm going to put that in move. Merchant remains quiet. Actually, Breglor asks what the key is for, and I roll merchant mentions. Let's go to something else. Let's go to our oracle here, the legacy oracle. I might as well just pull this thing out and staple it. Our legacy oracle. There we go. I'm trying to turn this page nice and carefully so it doesn't come off the binder again. Okay, so we have a few possibilities here. What does the key? What's the key for? Subject matter. 10. Life. A vessel. So we have a vessel in life, repair, and security. Hmm. What is the key for? Life. Oh, living. Oh, okay. Oh, this is pretty deep. Okay, I'm beginning to see it not as like remember, the merchant had a fairly powerful spell book on him. And I think they come from where are we on the area here? The merchant starts to mention of great magic, and he mentions that the key, uh, so life. I'm gonna put that. That's what I rolled. Anything I think I'm gonna try to do where parentheses is things I roll. So or stars. I've been fairly inconsistent. Like drizzles right there for current situation, the weather. Life mentions that so it mentions that it's he's vague. So I'd say that the merchant's like he's almost out cold. He's like it's for life. And then Regler is like astounded here. He's completely forgot about everything else around him. He's like, "What do you mean life?" Like he's still holding on to the merchant. And when he's doing that, does the merchant reply? I'm gonna say very unlikely. 25. Very unlikely. We rolled a 69 again. Oh no, he doesn't reply. Nope, he doesn't. The merchant passes out. Is the merchant dead? Let's see. Oh, it mentions life. The key is for. What? Now we can't be too vague here. What is the key for? I want to figure that out. 64. I'm sorry. 94. It's for something strange. Interesting. It's for something really strange. They found the key for strange life. Okay, so we have we have strange and life. What would that key be for? Something that's really strange but alive. Interesting. Before we really get any details out of that, the key is for, okay, we're gonna leave it at this. The key is for life. And while the merchant was about to finish, he collapses. He bleeds out. I'm gonna say very near certainly is the merchant dead. That was a cool spin. 87. Wow, he's not dead. He's okay. He passes out. Merchant passes out. Bregler checks his pulse. So he's doing this. He's still alive, barely. Bregler checks pulse, barely alive. The father, while all this was happening, what was he doing? 94, 64. The father, information. He was listening in. He was gathering information. So this whole time, the father was paying attention from a distance. Not like he's like, oh that man, that sucks. Not doing that. Like he was really intrigued. Like he's like maybe he was standing behind us from some distance, just kind of listening in. So he passes out. Bregler stands up and he realizes, let's update our let's say Bregler stands up. He turns to the father. He says, "Can you?" He's called for like, there's a doctor in the village. He's like, he tells the father, "Take this key." He's gonna give give the father the key. He gives the father the key, and hmm, does the father take it? Let's say likely 43. He does. The father takes the key slowly. He looks at it like, what do you want to do with this? And I think Bregler at this point, realizing now while he has the key to the father, the bird, we can't forget about the bird. Does the bird reappear? It's a very, does the bird find Bregler? Let's do likely. 54. It does. The bird finds Bregler. Okay. The bird finds Bregler. And because of that, 85, positive, ruined. I'm gonna go with ruined. Bregler is developing this symptom, is developing a side effect, like some kind of reaction to the bird's magic. A reaction, like a connection to the bird. It's like a tug. It's like, hey, or it's like a poke. Like you got to keep going on this quest. Connection to the bird, and he doesn't tell that to the father. He tells the father. Okay, here's what happens. Before we close the episode out, because it's been an hour and a half, been my longest episode so far. He tells the father, find a doctor, take care of this man, do what you can do. I have to go. And I can't explain everything, but I have to go. And then, when telling him that, 19, perfect. Ooh, okay, two possibilities here. Conclude, which is great for this moment in our story here. Conclude and dark. Okay, so Breglor is developing the bird finds Breglor. Darkness. Suddenly, Breglor looking at the father, just talking to give him the key. The father takes the key. He's just talking to him. Breglor mentions he has to go. He sees darkness envelop him. There is this strange realm he steps into, and Breglor is like, he's freaking out. He's looking around. This complete darkness is around him, and because of that, 87. What does that mean? You know what? I rolled 87, which was rustic, but now rustic for description, but now I'm looking at progress. Breglor hear does he hear or does he hear something? I would say very likely. One. Oh yeah, that's a solid one. He hears a mighty powerful voice just in his ears, like it's next, like it's just absolutely next to him. Like he hears a voice asking, "Now is it Dervish, or is it the magician? Is this the Misfits? Is this the Misfits doing?" Let's say likely. Oh my gosh, 96. This is not the Misfits. Oh, likely. That's a very exceptional no, beyond our expectations. Oh shoot. Okay. He hears a blaring voice, blaring mighty voice. And it's not the magician, not the magician, not the misfits. This is something different. Maybe at first we thought it was the bird, like regular just had this he had this expectation that it was the bird, that he was gonna get another vision from the magician saying, "Hey, where you been? Try calling you, didn't get an answer back, no call back, left messages, that kind of thing." But no, this is absolutely something completely different. Now, I'm wondering what we're hearing, if this should be the end of the chapter. It's something really rotten. He hears something, the voice is telling him, the voice is telling Breglor something very rotten, very rotten. And we're gonna leave it at that. That's where we're ending this one. I didn't mean to go this long in the chapter. Um, and I don't have the energy to keep. I'm just really torn out here. Uh, man, this was a heavy lore building episode, and what we can do is we have a lot to fill in regards to our uh, our quest update. So just to really sum it up here quickly, on the next episode, I'm going to do the character for the opening. When I have more energy, probably tomorrow or the day after. Um, so scene four. This is for the fisherman family. We let's see, cold stare recovered basically. Father happy. He's not angry at us. Next morning, found injured injured merchant and gave the father the key. Gave father key, and then darkness. Uh, so we're leaving off right here. Darkness, vision, and then voice. That's where we're leaving off. And then I have to remove the key from our inventory because we already handed it to the father. So keys out, and that's where we're leaving off. Oh my gosh. Okay. That was a mixed bag for me. I'm noticing every other episode I'm really into it and it's like really exciting, but this was definitely a more of a filler arc, a filler episode, but that's not essentially a bad thing. I just felt like I hit a few roadblocks in this one. Remember, I'm going to critique myself as I go to improve on my these videos. So I felt I hit a few roadblocks. The stuck oracle over here that I used did help at times, but I'm trying not to rely too much, which I did use this oracle over here. I want to use these ones to just use my imagination to create a story, to create the events as they happen. So the Griffins are still in the background. They're somewhere. We haven't really touched back on that, but I feel like they're going to come back again. The father, that quest, that story might conclude here, or it's going to branch off in something else. Because we helped them. We saved the son. I think that's a great way to end their little legacy in the story. But I feel like we're gonna come back to them uh, in regards to their family name, Caliph. Now, I didn't get to that in this episode because of this merchant we found. And that was just straight up from I just okay, merchant. Because there's been a death of merchants in this area that probably passed through. They shortcut through the Caliph fields to travel through the mountain range or just to get to Bellhop. Now, because of that, um, we we have uncovered some new power, some new entity, and I'm thinking this entity that's speaking to us is essentially foreshadowing something in the very end of this series of this adventure we're on, this long campaign. I have a feeling that we're going to be passing through Bellhop, the Temple of Legion, and then this little skull in the corner. If you guys can't see it, there's a skull right there. This little area is going to be huge for the story. And that area is, let's see, this is obviously a spoiler. We already know. The skull is called 17. Let's see, where's the skull at? 17-1. That's Skull Mountain. And I feel like this little area here is a castle of graves. So something speaking to us is dead, or is perhaps a spirit or a demon. It could be anything. But something is trying to contact us because we're the main character. Breglor is the main character, not us, the Breglor. But yeah, it was a mixed bag. I had some, we had some great revelations here, a great closure with the family for now, not over yet, but the great progress with them. I liked how I resolved father's negativity towards us because the whole ambush thing from earlier within the forest. I don't think that's really turned out to be a problem anymore. Um, I think the father just had a really deep suspicion for us. Maybe he remembered seeing us, but everything was so quick and just sudden with all the misfits surrounding us. Maybe he didn't exactly see us clearly, but he recognized we were potentially a threat because he just got attacked by a griffin. His emotions were high. This stranger just saved his son, so he's like, okay, this turned out to be fine. So, yeah, there's a lot, to unpack here, and I try not to. I try not to sway off the story here, but I have a tendency to do that. But we still have the four quests to do. We still have that Quake, and I think that Quake is gonna be related to the main quest. It's a side quest right now, but it's more of a side condition. It's a symptom of the main quest. But there you go, there you go, guys. An hour and a half of an episode. I hope you enjoyed. This is episode 8, and of course, we need to give a name for the episode. Where was episode 8? Did I really go that far? Holy crap. I did about a page. I did 2 pages this time. So 2 pages is an hour and a half, I guess, or an hour is a page and a half. All right, so this will be Darkness Unfolds. Darkness, no, Darkness upon us. Darkness upon us. I'll do that. Cliche, but I love it. But that's really it for now. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this. Again, I'm sorry it takes so long for me at times, but I don't edit these. I don't cut them. This is full uncut raw. I just have fun playing this, whether it's, always adventurous and action packed, or moments like this where there's a lot of filler, a lot of details unraveling for the future of the show or for this adventure. And again, that's just how it's going to be. And I feel that like the whole adventure part of it, the combat, advent, conflict is like every other episode, especially around the Griffins. But overall, I enjoyed it, and this was fun, and I'm glad I did it. So thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time on 8:30 RPG.